Apart from fruit trees, one of the things we have no shortage of here is grass. Time to do something about cutting it.
If you're like me and your mowing career has largely consisted of mowing a suburban block and you've had the same mower for 10 years, then your day's about to change.
As Forrest Gump would say, mowing a farm block is like eating a box of chocolates. In some ways, we have bits of lawn that resemble anything that would be in a suburban backyard, but then we've got narrow bits, and then we've got steep bits, and we've got bits that run over a cliff, some that run into a creek, and then you've got to manoeuvre around the trees.
Variety of cutting situations means that no particular motor is 100% ideal, and so you've got to take a punt. We had three options. One was to buy something that looked like a little tractor, but it would be difficult to manoeuvre around the trees. The second was to have a four-wheel drive mower, which would be able to handle the steep inclines, but then would take forever. And so we've gone with something slightly different.
Zero-turn mower. And so it's a bit like you see the councils using in the parks, in that it can literally turn very quickly. Now, the question mark is whether it can actually handle the slopes without killing me. So we're going to see how this goes, and if it's a success, I'll post it to social media. And if it's not, then the coroner can use it to see what went wrong.
I've gone with the biggest motor because I want to get up the hills. And then I've gone with the biggest mowing deck because I'm hoping that gives me a bit of stability.
So what we're going to do is I'm going to have a bit of a crack down here on the easy stuff and hopefully build up the skills to be able to tackle the much steeper stuff at the back. Don't worry, you won't have to watch hours of me mowing. We'll just give you the edited highlights.
Survived so far. There's certainly no question about the capability of the machine. There are, however, quite a few questions to be asked about the capability of the driver.
One of the things I have developed in the past half hour or so is a very healthy respect for those council workers who I've seen manoeuvring around trees and fences and things like that. If we were to introduce 360-degree feedback at the farm, I think some of the fence posts and trees and things like that might have some comments to make about my developmental areas.
Anyway, I'm going to get on. There's paddocks to be mowed and they're not going to cut themselves. So thanks very much for sharing this milestone in my farming career. I'm sure in 2 years' time the novelty will be well worn off. But until that time, I think there's plenty of fun to be had. Thanks again. Goodbye.
One little thing to add, there's a bit of a trap for young players. See this bar at the back? That's for rollover protection. An excellent idea. However, when you start mowing underneath trees like this beauty here, you need to have it down. Otherwise it'll really get the heart racing as you end up with two front wheels up in the air and the motor screaming. Always something to learn. Okay, so now we've got the sunroof open. It's time to keep going. Hooroo.